Well, here we are back in Virtual Pool 4 online, and we're back for a match in the 2021 Virtual World 9-Ball Championship. We have a match that started. I didn't notice it in the bracket, but obviously Mr. Bill's met up with Candyman, who's his opponent, and they are underway, and we will join it. Race to 19, and Bill is already 2-0 up. Now Bill's got a big advantage in the rating, so I've never seen Candyman. I know Bill is from the States. Candyman, I don't know where he's from, because again I can't see his bloody flag. Let's have a look. And well, that looks like it's a former Soviet country, that flag. I don't know what flag it is, but it looks like one of them. And how long has he been? Well, according to this, he's 2015. Well, he's been a good number of years in Virtual Pool 4, although I've never seen the name. Well, good evening, Mark. Well, this is an unexpected match. I come up with the intention of watching Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson, and then saw that Bill had got his match underway. So I've yet to see how this Candyman chap plays, but he's going to have to apply himself a bit here if he's going to get on the scoreboard by the look of it. Well, Bill didn't get the cue ball tucked away, so let's see. Well, Candyman's on the wrong side of this one ball. He'll run into the 6 as well, which could cause problems. Well, he's got a shot in the 2. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's overhitting him straight away, can tell that. You know, you've got to be playing for position, but he's overhit that by a country mile and he's hooked himself. And this is where players don't have that. They don't have that touch and control because they've not spent enough time actually setting up their mouse. Could tell that straight away with that shot. Now we'll see whether he settles down. Nothing on here to suggest it's going to be an easy run out for Bill because the 5's hidden away behind the 6. And the other thing is Bill might get a wee bit sloppy here because he's maybe not feeling that he's going to be under any pressure. But that's where he could be there for the picking off for a few racks. So Bill would be far better knuckling down and getting the match over and done with than getting a bit too loose. I think the one thing you want to do is try and play at a level that you want to keep at throughout the tournament. So if you've got a player where you might think they might not be particularly strong and offer up an awful lot of resistance, it does tend to put you in the other foot where you don't necessarily put as much focus on what you're doing. So it would be important for Bill to get that out of his mind and concentrate more on taking every rack out ASAP. Well, Candyman I think went for the billiard there. Now that 7 has to bounce far enough to prevent Bill from cutting it in. So we've got a number of matches. There was no matches scheduled today, which is why I hadn't planned to do this stream. But there are matches scheduled for tomorrow. There's also, I think, the big one, the one big match in the first round, which is between Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn. I can't remember what day that is, but it's on the bracket, and I think it's my day off as well. So I will have that match, and I should have maybe one or two tomorrow. Oh, was that scheduled as well? I never noticed. They must have been arranged. I looked at the bracket and I never saw any matches for today. So Gung Ho never showed. It doesn't surprise me. That's happened before. Mal hasn't got his match arranged as far as I know, but again the bracket may well have been updated since I last looked at it. Let's have a quick look. See what we can find here. This is the 28th, isn't it? So, well, we've got the match there that's underway now. Now that started at 19 minutes past 7 British Summer Time. We've got the results from a couple of days ago and also from last night. We've got Mugsy against VP Monster in a couple of days' time. I won't have that one. It's at 3 AM in the morning on Tuesday morning, I believe. Where I'll be getting up at 4:30 AM to go to work, so that match will be right in the middle of it when I get up to go to work, so that one's out of the equation. We've got the match tomorrow. That's one at 8 PM between Linus and the Great Guru. Again, I don't know whether he'll turn up. I don't think I've ever seen that player. We've got the match between that Stubb and Quagmire. What date's the 30th? This is the 28th. Monday's the 29th. Tuesday's the 30th. I'll be able to get that match because that's 10 PM on Tuesday night, and I finish my work on Tuesday morning, so I'm off for a couple of days, so I should be able to get that one, get Stubbs' first match, provided Quagmire shows. And then, oh, wait a minute here. Hang on a minute. What was that about Mooncake? Oh, Mooncake didn't show. That's a bit crazy. What the hell happened to him? I thought Gung Ho wouldn't have shown. Then why the hell did Mooncake agree to the match if he didn't turn up? Is he lying pissed in a corner somewhere or what? I mean, that's a bit crazy. Anyway, there's the other match. Well, that's the other problem. I mean, he surely couldn't have gone through all day and forgetting to put his clock forward. In fact, if that was the case, he would have been here an hour earlier for the match rather than not turning up at all. So it can't be that. It can't be the clock. He would have turned up an hour earlier and then realised he hadn't set his clock. We've got the match with Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn. I will have that one. And then a couple of days later we've got Zwiley against Miasma. We've also got tomorrow another match with Wink at Me and Hairpig. I think we've got a clash of times here. I can't see them for the bloody chat. That Wink at Me one is 2:30 in the afternoon. As I say, that will be started. I'll be on my way home when that match starts. There's also another one between Slim and SD92 on Tuesday night, or Tuesday early evening, 6 PM. I should have that one, again, provided everybody shows up. And then Eloquente on April the 1st, that's at 7 PM. So there's a few matches in the pipeline. And while we've been having a look at that, we've missed Candyman getting a rack on the board, which is important. Bill has a good chance here of getting onto the the top 10 leaderboard for the Racks Run prize that I've put up. We'll see how that updates at the end of the match. This is why I'm talking about, you know, that Bill should stay on the ball, fully focused, because he's got a chance to get what looks like it's going to be a comfortable win, but he's also got a chance to get some racks running. A chance to knock Larry off the top of the pile at the moment. Larry's at the top with 9 in his first match. Just remember that we're not talking about racks run in a row. We're talking about racks run overall in the match. So there'll be $1,000 V to whoever ends up top of the pile at the end of the tournament. Well, Candyman is going to get a chance now. The major problem here is the 9 ball. It's in the worst possible place, just right on that middle pocket jaw, which makes it really awkward, not only to get to in a good position, but to actually pot it. So Candyman's got a major problem if he gets that far. But you see the issue I'm talking about here. This is where Candyman and players like him are really going to struggle, because he's putting, you know, little thought or effort into thinking about that 4 ball there. And this is why players don't move up to that next level. He's leaving himself difficult pots where you're just not going to get these all the time. You have to be playing and thinking about a better positional play and controlling the pace. He's going to run out of shots eventually, and Bill will just be ready to pounce. Well, he's achieved one thing there. He's pulled off another good pot in the 5. He's brought out the 9. He's landed on the 7. What am I talking about? What do I know? Well, this will be a sore one if he can't get this done, especially if he scratches the middle pocket. Oh, he's okay. Well, it's again come from the miss from Bill. This is why you really do have to just, doesn't matter who you play exactly the same way. And as I say, it's very easy to become lackadaisical and lazy. But this Candyman can pot a ball. From what we've seen, the major issue we have is that next ball to follow, and how good he's going to get to it. Well, he did well enough to run out that rack, but that's not going to happen every time. But as long as Bill keeps making that odd mistake, Candyman will stay in the match. Well, let's see what Bill does here, because now he's got ball in hand. He's got everything wide open, and he's expected to run the table. I spent half the morning trying to get my watch to update this morning, which is usually done, I think it's done radio controlled or whatever it is. It's a signal that comes through the ether and updates my watch time, but I couldn't get it to update this morning. It actually updated just as I was about to. I was sitting in the canteen this morning at work, and I'm sitting pressing the buttons in the watch, and eventually the hour hand went forward and got the clock set. Right, so Bill's missed another one, and that's a wide open table, remember. A wide open table that Bill should have been running. And that's, again, where I put the emphasis on full focus. You're playing the table, you're not playing the player, and that's where the big mistake's going to be made, especially if this is going to scratch again. Oh! Play the table, not the player. And Bill should have ran that every day of the week. Question now is whether Candyman can back it up again. Well, that was just the pace that kept that one out. Well, the good thing now for Bill is the 8 ball's right next to the 9, so there'll be no problem in running out from here. So Bill back to a 4-rack lead. Ball in the break. Now, it may well be a long attempted combo in the 9 here. I think it's well worth a go. But he needs to make sure that he doesn't rattle the 9 too hard, that it rattles and holds in the pocket. He wants it to rattle and run away if it doesn't go in. Like that. Well, now Candyman again has to be thinking about the 2 ball. Obviously the 5's going to go in, but is the 2 ball going to stay there? And that's where the problem is trying to keep that 2 ball in play. And he's got himself hooked. And if he doesn't hit this hard, he could end up in trouble again. And Bill can pot the 2, but unless he comes off the side rail and spins the 2 and tries to run over to the 4, that's what he tried to do. He tried to get movement into the cue ball to clip off the rails to hit the 4. But it didn't get the right connection. So this rack very much should hinge on that 4 ball. I think there is a gap there. Maybe I have to put a bit of spin on this to get the angle off the rail to hit the 4. Let's have a look from that side. Yeah, might need a wee bit of, well, he's got some left on it. He didn't want too much on it though. Well, now Bill has his chance to stretch the lead. Well, this looks fairly straightforward. Just pot the 4 and stun into the bottom rail and up to the right. Well, he spun it around the corner. This makes it a bit more difficult now because the 7 doesn't pass the 8. This is not quite as easy. Obviously it goes to the bottom right hand corner when you're over on the left hand side. And that's why Bill's missed the 6. He's got lucky though. So it's just a wee bit untidy at the moment. Candyman obviously has a jump cue. Well, he might be a bit tight with this to get over it, and he's going to have to jack higher than that to get over it. Yeah, it was all. You have to get it jacked well up to get that short jump over the object ball. So now Bill's got it easier. He can run the 6 into the left middle and just run through. So Bill got lucky there, and he's got out of jail in this rack so far. Well, that's changed things. Ran straight into the 8. The 8's a good bank though. Right on that middle diamond, it's a good bank, and it's a good double bank. So it's a question of whether he goes for it straight away, all the way, which he has done, or whether he was going to hit it and give it enough pace to miss the first pocket and come back down to the second one, but he played it sweet. So the lead is now 5. And I wonder whether Candyman will knuckle down and actually make some sort of inroads into this deficit, or whether he's just going to succumb and fall into the hands of Bill. Again, it's another rack that Bill should have on the board. He should run this out. I don't know whether that is straight. No, there's an angle on it. He's going to go right round and play the 5 into this pocket. And that's just going to be a little roll through for the 6 into the left middle. Make sure he has to go far enough though. You don't want to be finishing here. You want to get to here at least. And he's almost got to the donut. He's fine. He can just roll out into the middle of the table. The problem now is, again, the 9 ball's right smack in the middle of the table at the top end. It looks easy. It looks so easy to get on it. You've got all the room in the world, the whole table, but you could end up going square. But he's done the right thing. Get somewhere near either the right or the left side middle pockets and you'll have a shot. So it's now 8-2. And this time the break, I think, is dry. I don't think I've seen anything go in. Candyman on the 1. Well, he's chipped into the 4. That's held him for the 2. Obviously, again, the 3 ball doesn't go. Now, is Candyman going to try and tuck this cue ball in behind the 8? Just a feather on the 3, or even behind the 6? Or is he going to try the combo? A lot of these players, it's all or nothing. It's all very well doing this to keep yourself at the table, but you've got to back it up and run out. And the 3 ball's running loose. And he's now going to have to probably jump over the 8. I don't think he can get to the 3 to pot it. Now that one where he was very tight. Now is he trying to just... I think he forgot to choose his jump cue there. So again, the chance is gone. I think he'd have been better playing safe there. He'd a chance to lock Bill up there. But it's one of these things when I talk about one-dimensional players. When they're at the table, they only have one thing in mind, and that's potting a ball, rather than thinking about what the odds are of actually trying to run out and string balls together. You have to use all the factors in your armoury. If you don't have the tactical side in your armoury, then you're obviously well open to retaliation, stuff like this, where Candyman ended up getting himself in a problem, and then everything's there for Bill just to tidy up. And again, you don't know whether somebody like Candyman has played in real life. Well, there's a mistake for him, but I think there's enough of it there to go in. Well, the thing is players will improve if they apply themselves. We've seen loose positional shots and the chances that Candyman's had. But I think I always say it, if there are players who are fairly low rated, but they'd be far better players if they had a strategy in their game. That's all they need to do. You can be twice the player you are, regardless of your rating, if you then applied more of a tactical side to your game. You know, and it's a simple thing to learn. You know, you watch real life stuff, and you'll see what the all-round professionals can do. So you bring the same thing to this game. This might be just a game. It might be just a computer game, but you have to apply the same rules. And if all you're out to do is to try and pop balls all the time, it ain't going to work. Well, what happened, Mooncake? How the hell did you end up getting forfeited? Explain that one. Because when I get told by Bedhead, I was saying Gung Ho would have been the one that forfeited. What the hell happened? And if there's a problem, get a hold of Tin. You proposed Friday for a match tonight, so that would have been accepted. I didn't know it was on. I didn't know that was up in the bracket, that match. And I got confirmation at 19:20, and I didn't see the mail. So you proposed on Friday night for a match tonight. He confirmed it tonight when he came online, and so he's turned up and you haven't made it because of that. I've got you. Well, you want to tell that to Tin. I mean, if you proposed on Friday, then the other side of the story is he could come out and say that, well, he wasn't at home. I don't know whether whatever Gung Ho is, whether he's got as many restrictions on travel as we have. But he could easily say he's been out of town for the last 3 days and never saw the email. That could be the one thing in his defence. But you can only propose give the story to Tin and see what he says. That's my advice. Just tell the story to Tin. And see what he says. Whether he opens it up again, it would be up to Tin to mail Gung Ho and tell him. As far as I know, you've got until January the 3rd to get these matches completed. Well, Bill's got an 8-3 lead. Candyman getting another one on the board. Well, that's why I was surprised that you ended up being forfeited. I thought it was odds on Gung Ho wouldn't show. But I mean, the other thing is, if you wanted to be really, if you wanted to look at it from the other point of view, he could have had the email, you know, on Friday. He could have seen it, and he could have came online, saw that you weren't there, and then decided to accept it. You know, there's all sorts of things you could accuse people of, but you have to look at it from the point of view of his defence, that he might not have seen the email for a couple of days, and then you have to leave Tin as the arbiter. You have to let him make the decision. But anyway, back to this match. Bill with an 8-4 lead. And, well, I don't know what Bill's odds are of getting into that top 10 in this Racks Run leaderboard. We'll see at the end of the match. Well, again, you can't surmise that that's what's happened, because you don't know. I don't know whether. I mean, Gung Ho doesn't seem the most talkative person in the lobby, so I don't know whether anybody spoke to him or asked him anything, because I wasn't here. I was away at dinner, and as I say, you have to leave the decision up to Tin, and then Tin's going to have to contact Gung Ho to see whether he's agreeable to get the match reopened. Well, this is a toughie for Bill. The 6 ball at distance, and again the mistake has been made. And again, Bill has got pretty lucky. This is not easy to read the angle in this 6 ball. Far better trying to tuck away and get it safe. But again, Candyman going all out for the pot, and he's going to lose the rack because of it. This is why I keep saying you have to wind it in and think about a bit of safety here and there, because that's a rack that he did have a chance of stealing. Albeit Bill got lucky, ending up leaving the 6 ball as tight to the cue ball, and Candyman had the option to skim off that and leave Bill nothing on. So there's enough mistakes there for Candyman to take an advantage and get more racks on the board than he's got. Good evening, Cobra. This is an unexpected match between Bill and Candyman. Now this is a little tricky one. The 5 goes between the 5 and the sorry, not the 5. The 4 goes between the 5 and the 8. And now Bill, I think, might have ruined that by kissing the 7. Let's have a look. Now he can certainly bury Candyman here, which is what Candyman should have been doing in 2 or 3 of his shots, in my opinion. But as I say, if that's the way these players play, they won't be long in learning when they get picked apart by other players who do apply themselves a bit better. So Candyman looking for the kick on the 4. He's going to have to be sort of just in between those 2 diamonds, unless he wants to go side rail. Well, he's got the hit, and he's got it safe. Well, sort of safe. Bill's going to jump that. It's an easy kick as well off the side rail, with a chance of it going along the bottom rail into the opposite pocket. This has got a danger of jumping off the table again at this distance. Like that. Now, Candyman, ball in hand. The first problem is where this 4 ball is going in order to leave a half decent shot in that 5. Now, it could well be just roll it up, if I can get my arrow to work, roll it up there and roll through for the 6, and then 7 into the middle, 8 into the corner, kill the cue ball for the 9. And he's gone top side of the 5. So that means the cue ball's going to draw back into the 7 maybe. Well, he's again stunning into the 9, taking big risks here, running into balls, and he may well have run into a problem again. Well, it's tight. I think he can just cheat the pocket slightly. Well, this time he is trying to lock it up. But the way that I showed there was the way to get out, keeping it simple. By just playing that 5 ball long, you'd have been on the 6, and then you'd have been on the 7. But Candyman is going to get the reward for his safety. He might have learnt something there. He's going to get a second go at it by playing a good tight safety and getting ball in hand from it. Right, well this is just a dead weight roll into the middle. You don't want to start running the cue ball up the table, just a dead weight roll. 7-4. Oh, he's won the first 3 frames. That's bad for O'Sullivan. And Candyman, if he rolls this 9 in, again he shouldn't have been up there to play it. Needs to get a big improvement on that positional play. Well, I think he would have. I think he could have. He could probably have another 3 racks on the board right now, Candyman. I would have given him another 3 racks if he'd actually done things right, and the chances that he did have earlier on in this match. So it's a jump escape. Now he could have pushed out, couldn't he? Because he's had the ball in the break but got no shot. And the difficulty is that there's nowhere really good to play a push out. So he's at that distance, you're not going to have an awful lot of pace left in the cue ball by the time it gets the object ball. So he's given Bill a free go. And the awkward one immediately is that 2 ball. Bill just playing for the gap. Now, does he want to come around behind the 4 for the 4 into the same pocket? That would seem to be the safest route because there's plenty of room to manoeuvre. Well, again, that is not the best way to have played that, Bill. He's left himself a toughie. Well, he needs to win the one before the interval to stay in the match, I reckon. And there's the final problem ball getting onto the 7. It's going to be from distance. And he's the wrong side of the 7. So again, you know, the safest route is just going right through and playing the 8 ball long again. Unless he's trying to hold it, because he's wanting to run away. He's trying to get it. See, that's why he's missed the 7. Again, he's trying to get cute on the 8 ball when he should have just potted the 7 and got the cue ball up the table and leave the 8 long. And Candyman, similar problem. He's left himself really tough in this 8. And his chance is still there, but it is a tough cut, this 8 ball. It is very tight. And how's the cue ball? Well, again, blind pockets these shots. But this is vital, this goes in. Now that might start Bill thinking here. It's back to 3. That one ball going to get there? Yes, it has. But no shot other than a tough cut. That needs to keep going. It needs to keep going. Well, he's got there. Now, does Candyman want to dig into this 3 ball, make the cut and try and kiss into that 4? Because the shot's there to do it. Yep, it was all out for it. And Bill is going to play the jump combo 3-9 here. Or is he? Well, he looks as if he's having a good look at the line of the 3 to the 9, and out will come the jump stick. Oh, now he's left it hanging and he's got it covered now. I think it's got to be just on the middle diamond. And even if he hits the rail and kisses a 3, he's surely got to chip the 9 in. This is a big shot, this. And in it goes. Worked out perfect. And all of a sudden, there's only 2 racks in it. Candyman with the break. And nothing's threatening a pocket. And he's not left anything easy here for Bill. Bill might try and run to the 2 ball again. And I think he's just got it. Well, now Bill has a chance to regain a 3 rack lead here if he can run this table. And if you're going to be a contender in this tournament, when you have ball in hand and all the balls are there, you have to be running tables. You can't be getting out of shape. You have to be running them if you're going to be looked on as a contender. He may well try and go over to the between the gap and the 5. When he's played this 4, if he gets down that right hand side, he has to get that angle again. He's not got there at all. That is really poor from Bill. And now he's going to try and run for cover. And I don't think he's got there either. And if Candyman can get that 5 ball thin enough, he could have Bill in trouble. He doesn't want to hit this thick. He looks as if he's trying to hit it thick. I'd be skimming that. It's bound to go to the top rail and bring the cue ball down behind the 8 and the 6. At least you'll have distance. It's not going to bank because the 7's in the way. So goodness knows what he's trying here. Well, that'll do. It's a good end result. But there was never anything on there by playing the jump. But he's got pretty much good cover. Not difficult to kick it. And Bill has to slam this, I think, because He doesn't want to be hitting it at a pace where the 5 just runs up over the top right hand corner pocket. He wants to give that a belt, and he's actually managed to get the angle with a bit of spin, but that's unlucky. And this is where matches can change and turn. On that shot there, Bill's played a cracking shot in the 5. Cue ball's running loose. He's scratched in the middle. Candyman's got ball in hand. Wide open table. And again, he's gone too far on this 7. There's a chance to get back within 1. And these are tough. Got to keep control of that cue ball as well. And that's why he's missed it. Getting through too far, and he's going to get a bit of luck here. He's got Bill blocked out big time. Oh, Bill's cut it in. That's a bonus and a half. Big bonus there for Bill. Well, I think that sort of evens things out for him in this rack, considering what happened his last visit. And now he needs to get the job done. Well, you've got to know whose big hit that was, Slim. Slimmy Davis Jr. So Bill, well, that could have been a match turner there, but Bill's managed to win it. He's now got the gap to 3 again. Well, Candyman's thinking it's the best of 19. He doesn't realise it's a race to 19. Well, he's just found that out. Bill might explain that to him. Now, this is another one that's going to be tricky. Seven ball running around the table. It's running to play. Oh dear, Bill, too much juice. And another glaring error from Bill. And he's doing everything to keep Candyman in this match. Ably assisting his opponent. Big juicy spin on that cue ball there, straight into the pocket. And Candyman's pinched it. Bill's pinched it. What am I talking about? It's Candyman that's doing it. I'm too busy reading the bloody chat and missing what's happening. Yep. I'm trying to read the chat and watch the game at the same time. I should get that out of my head. It's looking at the chat with one eye and looking at the table with my other eye. Neither of them are good eyes, I have to point out. Anyway, yeah, I did get it wrong. It's not the first time. So Bill with a 4 rack lead again. Now Stubbs' match is arranged as well. Stubb will be looking to go onto the Racks Run leaderboard. We'll have a quick look at that one. Now when did he arrange it for? I think he's arranged it for my day off as well. Where the hell is he? There it is. It's what day is this? This is the 28th. Monday's the 29th. Tuesday's the 30th. So Tuesday night at 10 PM. Provided Quagmire turns up. Stubb will have his first match. I should have that because I'm off the next 2 days after that. What's happened here? You can see it. The only problem is he's tight to the rail, so he can't dig into the cue ball. Just managed to hold it. Well, it looks as if Bill's going to get that comfortable lead again. It was getting dicey. So 12-7 is the score. And no joy. And this table is crying out to be ran. Cutting the one, run the cue ball up and down, 2 over the middle pocket, 3 into the top left. But the cue ball running way too loose. And it's Bill that's going to have the run out opportunity. Now, how's that pocket looking with the 3 ball? No, that makes the pocket a that wee bit bigger. You can get off the rail. Well, Bill just needs that wee angle off this 7 onto the 8. No, Mal was in earlier on. I noticed he was getting a bit of practice, but I don't think he's arranged anything. I don't know whether he sent a proposal or whether he knows how to send a proposal. I haven't a clue. So Bill now getting into that comfort zone again. It's a 5-rack lead, about to go to 6. And that rack is tilted to the left, as you can see. And it's yet another dry break, I think. I didn't hear anything going in. And once again, these balls are spread very nicely for whoever can get in. And Candyman has got the pot. And the mistake again, overcutting the 2. And now Bill, well, all he needs is 1 good pot in this 2. And the other problem now is he's going to have to either play a billiard off the 4 onto the 5 if he gets there. And he's hung the 2. So Candyman is getting another bite at it. Again, he's going for the big juicy draws with no great control. And he's ended up nowhere. You've got to get that better control, and again the bank shot to keep it going. Probably a billiard onto the 5. No, he's gone all out for the bank. Managed to find that narrow window. This all looks, it all looks impressive, but you don't want to be having to do these sort of things to keep a run going. And now he's well out of line. He's left. This is a guaranteed scratch if he tries to cut this. It's odds on for a scratch, this one, I think. He's trying to bank. I don't know what he's trying to do here. He's gone all out for the bank again. Well, after all of this, he needs to get this rack done. Double banks to keep the run going, and it gets one back. A ball and a shot, that's what you want. And he's not getting it. And once again, it's a one ball rack this. The balls are split nice. There's no problems in the table. It's all about the one ball. And Bill has got the one ball and he should be out. Oh yes, Semi, it's all very well saying that now. If I knew he was in it, I would have been in it. Mal's in it. Mal's in it to win it, provided he gets his matches arranged. I've still got my doubts whether he'll be going all the way. Meanwhile, Bill doing everything to try and end his run. He's managed to get away with that one. Dead straight in the 6, which now means he's going to have to try and do something or leave an awkward long pot in this 7. And that's what he's going to be doing. And don't tell me he's spun too far. Goodness me, look what he's done. Slim, don't you be starting to bottle out now. Oh well. Bill got the jump. Cue ball raced ahead of the 7, and then the 7 runs up and pushes the cue ball into the pocket. So cut the 8, run off the rail out into the middle of the table. So again, this is about controlling the pace. You just want to get out beyond the middle, and you don't want to go too far across like that, because it then leaves that awkward angle. And that's what happens. You get awkward. They're not easy to read. And Candyman's chance has definitely gone this time, I think. And so Bill stretches again. The lead is 14-8. And Bill gets the 4 ball in the break. He's got a cut in the 1. Well, he's gone for the bank. Now we've got a mess of balls down this bottom rail here. 3 balls, the worst of the lot. I don't know how that, I mean that 3 balls pretty tight to the rail. It's a thin cut if you can get in that gap. Well, there's a couple of millimetres off the rail. And that's where Candyman can get to it, but the cue ball's going to have to again go up and down the table for the thin cut in the 5. That needs to spin out, which it has done. Now again, same thing. Up and down the table to get over to the right side for this 6 ball. Cut it into the same pocket. That maybe be too strong, it needs to bounce. I think it's okay. Now it's important that he takes this out. The simple shot after this 7 is roll the 8 in and roll the 9 into the left middle. That's the safe way of doing it, which pretty much guarantees you're going to get the rack. He's gone dead straight in this 7, which means now he's going to be close to the rail unless he tries to do something elaborate here, which he shouldn't do. Just take your medicine. Roll that 8 in, off the end rail and out about a foot, so that you're staring down the 9 into the middle pocket. That's the simple way of doing it. Well, he could have done with coming off the rail a bit more, but that will do. Now his main goal here for Candyman is getting to double figures, so he's 1 away from that, and he's got the break with a chance to do it. 14-9 to Mr. Bill. But Candyman, and look at that 9 ball. Well, this rack could be very quickly over. The question is who's going to get a shot at it? And Bill has got to a rail, and he's got good cover. And this is a difficult shot to judge, because if you're going to the end rail, the top end, the left hand English that you put on, it's very difficult to judge to get a hit on that 1 ball. So the 1 ball isn't going anywhere there. So if Candyman is tactically aware, it might be better to leave it exactly where it is and play a deliberate foul and get rid of that 9 ball away from the middle pocket. That would be the one thing I'd be thinking about, because if you give Bill ball in hand like he's just done, he's now going to find himself possibly in 2 fouls in a second or 2. But if Candyman brings these balls into play, it's going to give Bill a fairly easy opportunity to end the rack by getting to that 4 ball and just nudging the 9 in. So Candyman's got to be aware of these situations and what can happen here. And he's given it a blast and chipped to 2 in, but no joy in getting good in the 1. The 9 ball is still sitting there. That 1, well, let's be honest, it does cut past the 5, but it's extremely difficult to do it from where Candyman's sitting. A very narrow gap to get through past that 5. And he's missed it on the way up, kicked it on the way back. That 8 ball's kicked the 6 away and opened up the 1 for Bill. And now we have got that situation. If Bill can pot the 1 and get out of that gap behind the 8 and the 7 and out into the table, he can take care of the 3 and then just get back up the top end of the table for the 4. Oh dear, well that is an absolute total disaster for Bill there. And now it's the exact opposite. It's Candyman that's got the shot. And again, he's doing the dumb thing. He's just not playing a straightforward enough shot to get that cue ball up the top end of the table. And that is just crazy. He's managed to get lucky and played the billiard, but he should never have been doing that. And this is where players, they're not thinking on their toes. And Candyman almost blew that there, but Bill blew it big time. And it's back to 4, and Candyman's got the goal of getting to double figures. And he's also got a ball in the break. And a shot. The 2 ball is gone. He's on the 1. Now again, this is about finding a very narrow window. Well, that's going to go top end, and that has worked out perfect. If it squirts out past the 4, no it hasn't. It's a very narrow gap to get onto that 3 ball, and he can certainly kick it from behind, and he might get lucky. Oh, he might have potted it. No, he hasn't. Well, the draw that Candyman played on that ball to get up the table was just ridiculously too much. There was no control on it at all, and he ended up getting lucky again. Well, this match could turn either way here. It could go all out for Bill at the end, or if Candyman gets chances like this and manages to take him. Now again with this one, you play the shot where you're getting to the right rail. That's the target area. The target area is obvious. It's there. Anywhere in here, you're going to give yourself a sight in a 5. And so it's all about judging the pace on the cut and off the rail and up into that area. Well, that's never going to get it, is it? I mean, just look at the pace he's played these shots at, and of course there's no shot in the 5. You've got to aim for those target areas. You know, it was more than obvious that the target zone is in this area because the 5 was sat there. And I don't know why he couldn't see that shot. And Candyman's chance may well and truly have gone this time in this rack. But not again. Bill's overcut the 5. Candyman's got the cut. And again, there's a big target area. Well, I say big target area. It's in this zone here. If you can get into that gap there, that's your line onto the 6. So that is the area to aim for. And he's overhit it. And he's going to be hooked on it. And this is where pace control is the big letdown for Candyman. Has he got an edge and enough of that? Well, he's going to try and jump it. He might end up off the table. And I don't think Candyman's got enough room to get there, I don't think. Well, he did get there. And what's more, he might have got away with it. He hasn't got the pot. And Bill can't see enough of the 6. Well, this is on a knife edge now, this rack. It could have a big bearing in the outcome. The Candyman looks as if he's going to blast this for the bank here. A bank or a double bank. Yeah. And this time, well, this has ended up dead straight for Bill. He's got no option here but the big draw. Unless he's trying, he can't cheat anything on this. This would just go straight through into the pocket. And another bedhead cut to keep him at the table. With a bit of pressure on it now. Where he's got it. And he might breathe a little sigh of relief to get this one out of the way. After what's happened. Well, we'll have a look at the stats for the tournament after this is over, just to see how Bill and Candyman have done on that Racks Run leaderboard. I don't think they've done particularly well, to be honest with you. I don't think Larry's lead will be under threat. So 15-10 to Bill. The break is dry. The shot is on for Candyman on the one ball. He's come up the table to the good side of the two, so he can just drop it in, and he's got the 3 hidden behind the 6. Just a simple drop in shot, no pace in it at all. And again, Candyman's all over the place as far as pace goes. Again, no control at all. And that's why he's ended up nowhere and having to dig out shots to stay at the table. That was just a gentle pot. So there's a lot of work Candyman has to do, and the major work he has to do is get that mouse speed control down. Because there's not very good control there. He'd be a much better player if he had that fixed. And it's a bit of time and effort spent working that sensitivity. It looks as if, to me, he has to work it down. He's got too much power in the sensitivity of his shots, so that's why he doesn't have good control. He needs to control that pace better. If he does that, again, he'd be a far better player. He wouldn't have been doing silly things like that and overhitting it and running to lock himself out in the 3. Because that's how you just end up gifting chances to your opponent. Like this one for Bill. But there has been a lot of racks. There have been a few racks where Bill should have been running them out, and he's got himself into bother. And he knows that he'll have to improve. But all that matters is you get the first result out of the way, and you're still on the winner's side. That's what matters. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Commentator's curse. Bill's done it again. He's babied the 9. Cut it into the rail, and it's a gift. A gift for Candyman. And he's only 4 behind. Well, what he wouldn't do for a golden break here to get another quick rack on the board. You never know. Could be the first one of the match. 2 ball gets kicked in, and no real simple shot in the 1. I mean, that will cut, but cue ball's running all over the place again. So Candyman once again playing one-dimensionally. As I've said before, it's all out for pots, where maybe a wee bit more thought and safety would have prevented giving Bill this free goal to win another rack. But once again, Bill has overcompensated in the 3 ball there and given Candyman another free go himself. Well, let's be honest, if Bill had been making these amount of mistakes against any other decent level player in this tournament, he may well be struggling to come through this first round, and he still might. But he's maybe going to get a reprieve in this rack. Well, so if I was going to write an end of match report like the school teacher would do, it would be could do better, Bill. A fair bit better. Well, now he's got a decent angle on the 8, although he's close to the rail, but he can push this right through, get the cue ball down and across. Needed to go a wee bit more to shallow the angle a bit more. But this to get within 2 of round 2. It's another dry one. And now Candyman once again has got a similar shot he had in this last rack, and he's probably going to go for it again. This time he's got the one. Again, it's a very awkward 2-ball. Perfect opportunity for a half decent safety here. Well, that's again really not well thought out, let's be honest. It's given Bill a drop in the 3. Drop the cue ball through for the 4. Far too much of that happening for Candyman. Well, loads of inside here. Bill's actually overjuiced it again. He's gone behind the bottom. Well, he's gone in the bottom side of the 6, so it's another tough one. And this time he's played the safety, albeit he's not got the cue ball tight, but so he's given Candyman plenty of room to jump. But this is real again, real danger of going off the table here if it's far too close. He's managed to stay in the table. But Bill will have a go at this. Cue ball's got to come across the table twice to get the cue ball back to more or less where the 6 ball is, to have a sight on the 7. And Bill's missed the 6. And Candyman lives again, but has he got any sort of shot on? Well, the answer to that is not really, but the shot to play is to cut that 6 there and just run over and try and get cover behind those balls. I mean, he's going to go all out for the cut into the corner, I think, by the look of it. But you've got to think about getting safety into your game somewhere along the line. Well, I don't think I've seen Bill miss as many of this since the last time I seen Bill miss as many as this. Well, he's got his chance now. The big bank in the 6. The pace is pretty good this time. Because I don't think Bill played that good. Was it the 9 ball or the 10 ball one? I don't think Bill had a good run in whatever tournament it was. But Bill's certainly not had an awful lot of game time either in recent times. That has to be said. He's not been playing an awful lot from what I've seen, or if he has been, he's been on at times I've not been here. Well, Bill on the hill, 17-11 with the break, 1 away. And I'm pretty certain I'll be glad this is all over once it's done, because it has been sloppy and untidy, and he knows that he's going to have to go up a degree or two, especially with a certain player who's lurking in the background on that bracket. Provided everything goes according to plan, Bill's going to run into trouble big time in the not too distant future. And again, another very loose shot on the 3 ball. Very messy. Don't know whether Candyman can get to the 3. I can't be bothered going to look. We'll just watch it and see if he can. Yes, he can. Now he needs to spin into the gap. Has he got there? That is good. Because the 4 goes past the 7, no problem. And now again, the simple shot, you just drop the 5 in and drop the 6 in. But if you've got a wee bit angle, get the cue ball off the rail when you pot the 6. That'll do. It's maybe a bit more than you would like, but it still leaves an open shot. Plenty of room to go on the 7. Well, that's what happens. That's what I was talking about earlier on in the match. That you know, Bill was, you know, untidy, and you have to forget who your opponent is and just apply the same way of playing, no matter who it is and what's happening. Because you have to do that because you want to sustain a certain level throughout the tournament. But if you start off, you know, messy like this. And loose and you know, far too many mistakes, then it's a bad habit to start with. You want to start with a good percentage, you know, good solid game, no matter who you're playing. Even though you might be expecting to win, you have to blank that out your mind, and play the table for what it is. Because he's given far too many racks away here, and it has to be said, Candyman's given far too many racks to Bill. It works both ways. Candyman's been way too loose in terms of positional play, not good control of the cue ball, in which case Bill's got half a dozen racks that he shouldn't have got. Can tell you that straight away. You go back and watch this match, Bill's got 6 more racks than he should have. And as I said, if it was a better quality player that Bill was playing, Bill would be in dire straits right now. So Candyman survives another rack. Now once again, extremely thin cut in the 3. He'll be all out for it, or the bank. Well, again, I haven't the foggiest idea of what he was trying there, because it was nowhere near played as a bank. It was played around the corner off the 2 rails, and he just left a wide open visit for Bill to finish the match. It just bamboozles me, that shot. And the only lifesaver here for Candyman is that 6 ball. That is really ugly where the 6 ball is sitting. And Bill's going to have to try and just drop it square onto the rail. He's got a perfect angle to do it. It's all about the pace. He wants it right nailed to the rail. Well, again, Bill's going all sorts of ways to get onto this 6. And he's going to leave a little fiddly one in this 8 ball. And again, why Bill didn't just play the shot to let the cue ball come across and get on the 6 up the table. He's confusing me. Even I'm getting confused with both of these players in this rack. But Bill might well have another go here because Candyman's got nothing on here. I would just tap to the 8 ball and have a bit of tippy tapping here because I wouldn't play anything that's going to leave the 8 ball in play. I would play the negative safety here. Oh goodness me, what the hell is happening in this game? They're fluking the 9 ball and it's 17-13. What did I say? Did Bill need 1? Is that what I said? It's a race to 19, isn't it? Well, it ain't over yet. Yeah, I'm tired. Have sympathy for me. It's what time is it? It's bloody 5 to 9 at night. I've had an hour less sleep. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. Well, that's what's strange about 9 ball. You think everything's going to be normal and simple, and then strange things starts to happen. And you know, Bill's sitting here with a 4-rack lead. It could all blow apart. Anything could still happen. That's the beauty about 9 ball with winner breaks and golden breaks on. Anything could change the match. It's unlikely to happen, I have to say, but as long as Bill keeps making boo-boos and keeps giving Candyman enough chances, we could still have a match on here. And in goes the 3. Oh yeah, I mean, if you've watched this match and seen any of it, I swear to God, Bill would have been at least half a dozen racks short of where he is now. Easily. The match could be exact opposite to what the scoreboard is right now. Against any other half-decent player who would have, the first and most important thing, better control of that cue ball, better pace control, and would have been able to get better on a lot of balls that have been wasted here by Candyman. Well, I'm looking to find a problem for Bill this time, and the problem's that 9 ball. Everything always looks easy like this, but when you're going from the top of the table back down to the 9, the target area is to get the pace where you're somewhere there on this 9. You don't want to be coming down to here and leaving yourself the bottom side. So the pot and the cut, he might go to the rail, but you just want to get to there. He's following the line. He's got to there, and commentator's eye has done it again, and Bill's played it perfect. Missing new tactical genius as well. What does that mean? Flintoff and Co. in Scotland. Aye, that's what they said last. Oh, did Bill get a golden break there in the last rack? Yes, he did. There we go. I missed that reading the chat. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Bill has won the match by 19 racks to 13. So Candyman moves over to the one loss side, but he wants to have a look at this video. And work on his mouse sensitivity. It's far too high, and he's got poor pace control. That's the first thing he needs to improve. So let's have a look at the bracket, because not the bracket. Let's go back to the tournament thing and go to this thing that Larry told me about that I didn't even know was on the tournament page. and look at the stats. Now the one that I'm interested in is this one, Rack's Run, and if we look at that, Bill is on there with 3 out of that match, and Candyman is stuck down there in 1, and that's about right, because it wasn't great quality, but you can see the difference. Larry's up there with 9, Cirrus is, whoever Cirrus is there with 7, and then there's a big drop to the also rans, who are all down on 3. So out of that, I've got a top 10 list. Bill goes on to it, but he's got a lot of margin for improvement, so he's going to have to do that. And let's have one final look at the bracket, see how that shapes up as far as Bill goes. So Bill is through to round 2, and he will play either Jose or Simanx. Now that match could go either way. There's nothing between the two of them, but Simanx is much more of a banger than Jose, and Jose should come through it if he plays sensibly, but Jose probably won't play sensibly either. And then of course we've got Mal down here. He's still to arrange his match with Bankster. Not Bankster, with SS or SWWS. We've got Albinario looking to arrange his match with Bankster. And we've got all these matches tomorrow and over the next few days, which I'll hopefully have 1 or 2 of them. I'll try and get home as quick as I can tomorrow to maybe catch the end of the Wink at Me match. I think it's on tomorrow. It starts at whatever it is, I can't remember. But as I say, I'll be coming home from work. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. I'll watch Top Gear on iPlayer tomorrow when I get home after that match is over. So I will bid you good night and take care, and hopefully there's still some of the snooker on so I can watch it, and I'll be back soon, so I hope you can join us. See you later, guys.